I'm Dale McCamish, Senior Pastor at Wilmington Church of Christ, and this is Nick Bancroft, our worship minister. And one of our staff members the other day, Jacob Blouse, he said, hey, it'd be a great idea if we could just do some small little interviews with staff and elders just to help people know who we are and what we're up to during the pandemic. And so we're going to start today with Nick Bancroft. Nick, you're not originally from Wilmington. Where are you originally from?
From Northeast Ohio and Canton. That's where I'm from.
Canton, Ohio. So big football fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was born and raised in Columbus. And so it was actually cool. My dad was serving at a church on campus. And so every Saturday, we would park cars for the game. So as far back as I remember, I was Ohio State football, 100%. Moved to Canton. Home of the Hall of Fame. Football is very much in my DNA.
What do you plan to do now that there's talks like they're going to cancel football season, the college football season?
I really don't know. I'm holding out hope. By the time this goes on, we will know that answer. It's not going to be good for me.
Yeah, it is uncomfortable to have to adjust. We've all had to make some adjustments during the pandemic. One of our biggest adjustments is do we have church in the building? Do we just have church online? Tell me a little bit about some of the hard parts of doing worship, trying to fill both areas, being in person and online. What's difficult about doing both of those?
There's two things. One was the technical side of things. Our church wasn't really in a position to do live streaming. We had done a little bit of recording. So learning how to do all the technical things kind of on the fly and creating a good worship service for online was a very steep learning curve. And then the other adjustment was when we started coming back to services of still trying to maintain that online presence, but we wanted to be able to do live worship in the building. And so trying to figure out how to maintain that and kind of work out the technical part. I think the biggest struggle for me through the online only services was the act of leading worship. I'm a big fan of corporate singing. Well, when it's just us up here in the studio, we're not leading singing. The only response I get is looking at a camera. Not a great response. And so there's no feedback. And so we kind of changed our style a little bit to make the songs more of an encouragement, of hope-filled, of let these songs bless you as you meditate on them, instead of let us sing these songs as a response in worship. Okay. And so that has kind of changed.
That's a big deal. What about for your family? I know the pandemic and stay-at-home orders and masks affects everybody a little bit differently. How has your family kind of navigated some of those changes? You've got young kids, and your wife is working and going to school. How has the pandemic affected just family life for you?
Stress levels have gone way up. So my job here has changed where I was trying to figure out all the technical things, but I was still employed, still working, in fact, more. And the same thing with my wife's job. She was working, but she had to learn how to take all of her classes that she was teaching and put them online, in addition to going to school online already. Our kids, it really hasn't changed much for them other than the homeschooling at first. They didn't notice too much of a difference. We made the decision that they could play with the neighbors across the street. And so we have formed that kind of family unit, and that was more beneficial for our sanity than anything. We needed them out of the house so they could go play. We have a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, and an 18-month-old. And so that was good to get them out and about. And so to kind of keep that sense of routine for them. But it was very difficult. I have realized that I do not have the temperament to teach first and second grade or kindergarten and first grade, or homeschooling. I very much appreciate having a place to send my kids so they can get good quality education.
This wasn't on our list or to talk about questions, but you're homeschooling, and that's difficult to do, and having to do online school is difficult to do. But most churches in America have not regathered, and if they have, a lot of them haven't regathered with children's church or Sunday school. So what's one thing your wife and you are doing to to continue to raise up our children the way they should go, to teach them about Jesus at home? What's one thing you're doing with your kids at home?
One is we're trying to continue that normalcy of church being important. And so even when I'm here in the building and they're at home, they still watch services. Or if they don't, when I come home, we watch the service together. We try as much as we can throughout the week to use Right Now Media to the music that they're listening to, make sure it's Christian-based. Some of the songs are really just fun. Yeah. And some of them are actually, they're singing scripture. And so they get those songs caught in their head, which is a fantastic way for them to learn them. We're continuing to pray with them, to read them stories every night. Just try to keep that routine as much as possible. My kids are very, maybe it's me that needs to be structured, but my kids need to be structured. They need that routine. They need to know what is expected of them. And so as much as possible for us, we want to give them those expectations. So it kind of keeps them moving in a direction. Oh,
that is fantastic. Right Now Media has kids songs too, not just kids videos.
Yeah, actually, I haven't even checked out the adult stuff. All we have done is the kids stuff, and it's been really good. If I can throw in a recommendation,
sure.
For young kids, Slugs and Bugs on there. They're really just kind of fun. There's one about a rocket ship and cheese dip. I recommend those.
Well, I appreciate the conversation. If you have questions about Right Now Media and how you can get connected through our church, or if you have questions for Nick, send us an email and I'll have Nick answer those questions for you. If you have questions on how you can continue to help your children grow up in the Lord, please send us an email, find the Connect card, and we'll help you take your next best step for them as well. That's all we have for this little interview today, and we hope these interviews help you get to know us a little bit better and continue to maybe spark some more conversation. We'll talk to you soon.